Warning, this show contains topics related to real-life events where we are always 100, and it's not for the weak-hearted or simple-minded audience. Content may be too real at times, and opinions will be voiced and untamed. You are strongly advised to stay out your feelings and keep that bitch-ass shit to a minimum. Enjoy the show.
I suppose you could say naughty.
Alright, this is Reka J from the A where my homies don't play, and this is my co-host Tip Top, and this is the Always1Hunnid Show. Yeah. Say it loud with your chest. Say it with your chest.
Boys.
We talking about fuck boys and bitch ass niggas and women too. And my name is Reka J from the A. This is my co-host Tip Top. And welcome to the Always1Hunnid Show, where we keep it all the way 100. Today's topic is not necessarily just based on fuck boys and bitch ass niggas, but I did want to bring some awareness to what's going on in our community. And so here I have my co-host, my very good friend, Mr. B. Mr. B is a good friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. And so I didn't want this this show to just come from a place of women talking about men. That's not what we're trying to do. I'm trying to bring some healing amongst men and women in relationships and communication, whatever kind of relationship it is. There's a lack of love going around, and there needs to be some healing. So, welcome, Mr. B.
And thank you for having me.
We are glad to have you here, sir.
It is a blessing.
Thank you. And so I wrote down a few things that I wanted to talk about, but I want to bring up something that I saw this week that kind of bothered me. And I figured that I can tie this situation into this topic. So everybody saw the little girl's video that went around this week. Did you see it? The young lady that was getting her hair done, and you know, she broke down and thought that she was ugly. And I could not figure out where that stemmed from or how we even got here. For me, I'm always trying to find a solution to every problem, and so the only thing that I could think of is that, you know, this is social programming, society views, or society control, or whatever the case may be. But it bothered me that there's a young lady, dark-skinned young lady that was very beautiful, that looked at herself and said that she was so ugly. The fact that such a young child even put emphasis on that said to me that she couldn't have been no more than, what, 5?
Well, she's about 5 or 6.
5 or 6. So the fact that, you know, she's even aware or bringing, you know, being knowledgeable about what it means to be ugly is sad. So where is this conditioning and this programming coming from? And I think it goes back to, you know, we talked about this last week, a lack of self-love. And so this is where the fuck boys and bitch ass nigga and women come into play. Because how, as a mother or as a father, do you allow your child to have these kind of insecurities at 5 or 6 years old? So I do realize as a single mom that, you know, raising especially a young man, that children need stability. They need somebody with a strong sense of pride. They need somebody that is very sure or secure in themselves. And even though we as parents go through stuff, there's a foundation there. So y'all kind of help me out to how we got here.
It's an absence. Absence of that structure you're talking about. You know, kids at the age of 5 should be playing, laughing, you know, thinking about maybe the next toy they want or anything. For this girl to be thinking about how she looked at 5 years old. And you gotta look at the dynamics of the household that she lives in. And look at, you know, what is being made to be important to her.
Right. Also her hair. But her hair, she had dreadlocks or locks. So that may be a factor also. Because you know, some kids when you go to school and you think you have your hair locks or dreads or whatever, they think it's ugly or it's nappy or whatever. So some kids may be at the school picking it up. So yes.
So how do we get to the root of these issues? How do we, you know, provide parenting?
Gotta educate, man.
But how? Because we don't care about stuff that's important.
I've often thought about that. You know, how do we stop this cycle of anything? You got to go back to the beginning, and it starts with parenting, and we got to really educate parents at every chance we get. You know, we got to educate parents.
Okay, so with parents, when we're talking about us, our peers, people our age, right? And we messed up. I'm just gonna say that my peers, my generation of people, you know, we got some serious issues, and we have projected it on our children. There are men, and case in point, I'm dealing with something today that just had me kind of upset. You know, I'm a single mom, and you know, I raised my son. He is 27 years old, and I tell him every day, you don't owe me nothing, because I feel like I've gotten him to the point, you know. And yeah, he got some stuff that he got to work out here. He got a mama that's in recovery from having a drug addiction, so he's got some stuff that he's got to deal with, right? But me as his mom, I've taught him, and yes, Janet, it's Coca-Cola. You know, ain't nothing in my cup, baby. I've taught him to persevere, to keep pushing no matter what, you know. But he has some anger in his heart towards his father, and rightfully so. You know, I get a message today from his dad, and I don't mention his dad. I don't talk about his dad. I don't put him on blast, because there's no need for me to do that. You know, the greatest revenge is God allowing you to sit back and watch the karma. And I've seen it. So, you know, but when you have a man that's texting me, insulting me, and your son ain't seen you but one time in 10 years, how? How, Sway? What explain that to me, cause you know, my dad, the generation before me, my dad would have taken some kids off the street and took care of them. Whereas my son's father don't give a shit. And I understand, and I've been able to kind of understand him, because I know where he came from. His dad wasn't in his life. But you know right from wrong.
You knew
I did.
You knew that your dad. Here's my question to you. A lot of, and I say this to a lot of the students that I come across dealing with young men in school these days. You're hanging out with a guy who's in school now, cutting classes, making F's, you know, smoking weed, whatever. What do you think that's going to lead to in the future?
So you saying I should have known, I should have seen that before I had him?
It goes both ways.
It does, absolutely.
Men that end up with messed up women, you know.
Because we dealing with that too. My son is dealing with that.
You saw that prior to dealing with them, but you chose to ignore that. But now we can't magnify it now because we chose to ignore it back then. Now we gotta deal with the consequences. Like you say, you know, the karma, the revenge is the karma. So let's be strong on that karma side. Don't let them take power over us. And be proud of the job that we did do. Okay. Be proud of the things that we were able to get done for them.
So let's go even further, right? Let's go even further to dissecting or delving into my decision or my choices in choosing this person to be.
Well, let's not say you. Let's say
anybody.
Yeah, let's say
let's say anybody. But I can only speak from my experience, so I'm going to talk about me.
Okay. Right.
I was a very young girl that was, you know, insecure. I did not love myself. People didn't know it, but I had been through some shit in my life. I had been through some things, and because I didn't fully love myself, I wasn't capable of allowing anybody else to love me. You know the saying, you teach people how to treat you.
Right.
And so I'll own that. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that. I own it. But the key is moving forward and healing. That's the key. Let's try to, regardless of how you feel about me, regardless of what our past is, look, bro, or ma'am, we brought a child into this world.
Right.
And so if we are able to recognize what's wrong with us, or what our shortcomings or whatnot, because what I tried to do was to do for my son everything that I think I needed. Right? Like, ever since he came into this world, I told him every day, even now, I love you. Because he needed to know that. He needed to know that he's loved. He needed to love himself so that he could go out and conquer the world. So I think that that's the breakdown right there, is that we as people, or me, and this may apply to many people, which I think it does, we talked about the mental illness, and all of that comes from a lack of self-love, a broken foundation, dysfunction, and instead of fixing it, because we talk about all the problems all day long.
Right.
Everybody knows what's wrong in the world, but how do we fix it? How do we fix it? Okay, so
talking about it. This is one way, putting it out there, having more of these type of situations where people can come, view your live, view your feed, hear the topic, hear what you're talking about, and then somebody may hear something that makes them look at their situation differently, or change the way they're handling their situation.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you can't make somebody else love what y'all created, but you don't want to spend a lot of your energy trying to second guess yourself, because you are the one that recognize what needs to be going on. So now you just gotta deal for two. I'm a product of a single mom too, and never met my dad. So, and my mom, she was hard on us, and but today, I thank her every day, for just being the one that said, well, I ain't gonna just let y'all just be out there, giving us guidance, giving us structure, giving us order, giving us discipline, so that we wouldn't be just another black boy behind bars. So, I think you did the same thing my mom did. She just took the charge and kept and pushed forward. It's sad that a person that brings you into this world don't want to have anything to do with you because of somebody else. It can't be because of the kid.
I just figure it's because it's a reflection of you not liking yourself. If you can't like your child, you dang can't like yourself. Ain't nowhere in the head.
So I have a question. So, do you think that played a part in some of your relationships?
I know it did. I know it does. Just
hey, Don.
Just having, I think about it all the time. My mom, she did get married to my sister's dad, which is like a high school sweetheart that they reconnected after me and my brother were about 12. And so she tried to stabilize us, but it definitely has a reflection on the women I dealt with, and I probably rebelled a little bit because, I don't know, you as a single mom, you have to take on a lot of extra responsibilities, and sometimes you have to be that bad guy. And I think maybe my resentment was when I got older and I could say, I can listen to my mom, but it don't really bother me. That's how I end up with the bad chick, because your mom gonna tell you
right away.
I don't like her. She's not for you.
And just because your mama said it.
Yeah, because she said
Just
no.
because she said it, because you like this girl and she giving it to you good, and your mama said, and so you gonna rebel, and then in the end you end up, damn, my mama was right.
She old
trick. Same way my mama was right too.
Should've listened.
And so the thing is like, okay, so I think I did a disservice to my son by not dating. And the reason that I did not date is because...
After his birth?
Yeah.
You didn't date?
Not really, not... I mean, I did, Barado. I mean... Gwen can get that. I did, but, you know, I didn't have no men in my house. I didn't have no serious, long-term relationship that my son was able to see his mama get treated like a woman. You know?
Yeah.
Not saying that he doesn't know what that means, but I should have done that. At the same time, it was like, you know, I was young with a business, and men was on bullshit in my 20s. And they still on bullshit in my 40s. So let's talk about that, okay? Let's talk about these dudes that's playing games. And like, you and I have, you know a lot of people. We have a lot of the same friends. And so that was this guy that I know, and he's sleeping with 5 of my friends, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on in the ATL? I'm sorry. I don't mean to just,
the game is a game until you know some people that are being played in the game.
Right.
It's a game until it's somebody that you know, or somebody that you know through somebody else. You know, 6 degrees separation. See, it's a game until they come into that. It's
a game until they crap out and die of AIDS.
Right.
I'm saying. And the thing is like, okay, so you know, I was dealing with this guy, and I, first of all, let me just tell y'all men in Atlanta, stop thinking y'all doing us a favor, cause we went out with y'all and we let y'all, you know, kiss on our neck and stuff. Stop acting like y'all doing us a favor.
Kiss the back.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all you let them do?
Depending on what night, you know what I'm saying?
I used to date for food.
But see, here's the thing. Women want to call men fuck boys and bitch ass.
I said women too, because that's a trifling women out here.
I'm just saying,
for real. And y'all couldn't do it if we didn't let y'all do it. So I'm saying
where the game starts.
This is on both sides. I'm talking about women and men, and I'm looking at some of these chicks
if you don't
like,
give me no attention,
he gonna go to Sally Boo Boo and
Dum Dum.
So then what you feel is some type of way, cause damn, I should have gave him some attention. But then when you give him some attention,
it ain't no. Cause I know how to treat a guy. You know, I do. I know how to treat a guy.
You know how to treat a guy. To keep him for how long?
30 days.
I'm just saying.
2 years.
I'm just saying.
3. But you know, these men out here, they don't want to. They don't, man.
I'm gonna say this to you.
What did Drake say?
I'm gonna say this to you.
Hey,
A man.
Keyword.
A man.
Keyword.
Man.
Booyah.
A man is gonna be a man until you allow him not to be a man.
So it's on us, is what he's saying. So it's our fault that they get to act the way they want. Okay. So, alright, so we're going to take a commercial break. And get a word from our sponsors, and then we're going to come back. Okay? Alright now. Boys and bitch ass niggas and women too. And we have our guest, Mr. B. And I am Reka J from the A. And this is my co-host.
Tip Top.
And this is the Always1Hunnid Show. So we are back. And let's continue this conversation. So, alright. So, the game is not to be sold. Okay? We are talking about relationships and things that men do and women do. And this is not a show to bash any a man or any woman. This is a show just to kind of talk about things that maybe we misinterpret from each other. There is a lack of communication going on not just in relationships.
Where does the breakdown start?
Where did it start?
Where does the communication breakdown start? Where does it start? Because there has to be a starting point for the games to start being played. You know, you call and they don't answer.
I think it's the initial.
They call you, you don't answer. They text you, I didn't get that text.
Right. So the games.
Where's the breakdown? After the initial meeting. Cause that's when the game starts. The game don't start from the beginning.
So I think what it is that in all actuality is that people are actually scared to deal with themselves. And it's almost like people are running from things that make them have to deal with themselves. Communication. A relationship. You have to deal with yourself. And because as we go back to talking about the lack of self-love, you know, people are continuing to run from themselves, to run from their issues, and, you know, no matter where you go, you're going to run into yourself.
You think it has anything to do with our peer groups?
Peer groups, where we come from.
Our friends, and like...
How many, Cynthia?
A woman or a man may meet a guy or a chick that is like the perfect person for them, but they may not think that person fits into their peer group, their circle. Well, you know, coming from Atlanta, it's definitely cliquish, and so you know me, B. I don't do that. I'm kind of, I kick it with everybody, so I don't really have no clique. I don't care about what it look like on the outside. So to me, that's being judgmental. That's loving you with conditions, and that's a big part of it. You know, we're coming from Atlanta and growing up in the 70s and the 80s. We kind of, I won't say lost the basis of community. Let's say in the late 80s and the 90s when Black people were afforded the opportunities to really thrive. After affirmative action, things changed for us. We kind of broke away from the unity in our communities. And so I say this all the time, that it's conditioned thinking back from slavery. With the breakdown of our families were going on. You know, when I look at reality shows and I see women hating each other and fighting each other, I try to make sense out of that, right? So I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take it all the way back to our foremothers. So I'm imagining that on the plantation or wherever, there's plantations all around, and Sally Sue's husband just got sold, right?
Yes, master.
Well, Ruby's husband didn't get sold because he got a club foot. So now Sally Mae over there pissed off because Ruby's husband's still at home, right? And I'm trying to make sense of this because I don't get why we hate each other so much. I do get it because we've been taught to hate ourselves. Even though I grew up...
Master?
If you're going back, you got to go back to say that this white man, he had a plan. Absolutely. And to keep you down, he got to keep you separated. Okay, so to keep you down, I can't have you two like each other. Absolutely. So to end that right there, I said your husband. But we can't, all these years later, we can't keep blaming this shit on the white man. We just can't. We just can't, because we are aware. We know the behavior. We know the plan. We know. Everybody knows. It's in the books. It's on TV. It's in your face, right? The thing is, they see the TV. They see us being killed. They see things. They see it on Instagram. The thing is that we don't care. Because
it doesn't affect them until it happens to them.
Exactly. Like I told you, until it hits you, it's just something that happened. Right. It's just something that happened. It's just something that happened in the course of a day. What you think about it?
So, is this a never-ending battle that's not winnable?
I wouldn't say it's a never-ending battle that's not winnable. I say it's a battle that takes more of what you're doing now more of what you're going to do in the future. More people tuning in, buying in, listening, and hearing. You know, and hearing what the message that you're bringing.
So okay, so right, so I pay attention to things, and a lot of times I don't say things, right, and people support what they want to support. There's so much on social media about who doing this, who said what, who got on this. And sometimes I feel like, okay, I'm just talking. Ain't nobody listening. Don't nobody care. It ain't making no difference. And I know, but in 20-something years that I have been doing this, going hard, I don't see it getting better. Not outside of our community. Not what the politicians doing. Not what the president is doing. In our community. I get sad when I go up Cascade and Campbellton Road. I do. I hate it here. Is Wakanda still open?
Yes, Wakanda me, please.
This is now you grew up on Cascade. So you grew up during the time where the black people on Cascade,
I love you too, cuz,
were the upper middle class black folks. They had the money. The kids went to Benjamin Mays. You know,
$1 million homes in the Cascade.
Right. You know, and now,
shout out to my homies, good MOB.
And now what's happening now, those parents are dying. And if their kids did not get the message, they losing everything up and down Cascade. And
so here, and this goes back to me talking about how in the late 80s and 90s things changed, because even though these black people were making it, you know, I went to Mays and I went to Westlake, right? And at Mays, I was in the Math and Science Academy. I was smart, but I didn't feel like I belonged. And so I tried to be something other than what I was, because my parents weren't rich. My parents worked hard. You know, my dad worked at the railroad, my mom worked at the bank and Equifax, so they worked hard. But for us, it wasn't no extra. Wasn't no Guess jeans and no, you know, it was basics. You get you some tennis shoes and stuff to wear to school. And
how many of y'all was it?
It was 2 of us, you know, it was 2 of us, and we got the basics. So I went to school with kids that was driving Porsches and Beamers and Benzes, right? And it's not a bad thing, because we were able to see people being successful, but there was a disconnect with maybe some of those that weren't able to have that lifestyle. And it's still like that. And that's why on these reality shows, people look down at people, and we gossiping about who got what they got on, what they spent. Who gives a shit?
Fendi, Gucci.
That's not important. That is not important
to you.
To me. You're right. You are absolutely right. But
we have a generation of kids that are being told differently. We got a generation of kids that parents make sure they have the new cell phone.
And nothing else.
The new Jordan.
Make sure they may have on brand new tennis shoes, $200 tennis shoes with jeans. You know, it's okay now to wear jeans with holes in them. When we were coming up, you got laughed at if you had holes in your jeans.
Or the jeans too tight.
Oh, they were too tight. Yeah, because that didn't. A lot. I'm gonna tell you, I listened to Slick Rick, the rapper,
the
ruler, and he had a song called "Young World."
Hey, young world, the world is
that song there was a bit ahead of its time. If you think about what that song says, is what started happening. Kids coming to school without their hair combed. Come on, you know we didn't do that. Kids stealing from their parents. We didn't do that. Yeah, gotta just really listen to that song a lot. Yeah, being disrespectful.
Cussing in front of you while you right there.
So it's our fault, cause we raising these little children. It's on us.
So our awareness has to be our mission. If we have a mission to try to correct some of this, because you'll never correct it all, because the government is set up that way. It's set up for it to be something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So all you can do is take your stab at it, make sure it's a good stab. This is a good stab. This is a good stab. You know, but you think about it, and we know we was talking about bitch ass niggas, but they come from somewhere. They come from women that are attracted to that bitch ass shit.
Oh, bow, he shot me. Oh, Lakeland, hold on, baby, wait. I done knocked Lakeland over. Okay, my bad. Shout out to Absolutely_normal for painting this picture of Lakeland for me. So, okay, so. And so, ooh, Jesus, that was deep, because I'm always thinking about not raising a bitch ass nigga, right?
No. Like that's the goal as a parent. It should be as a mother, not to raise no bitch ass nigga.
And what is that? A bitch ass nigga to me is somebody that doesn't take care of his responsibilities, that uses women, that preys on women, vulnerable women, to use them.
But is he praying?
Some men choose. Some men.
What's being allowed?
No. Some men prey on vulnerable women to take advantage. Vulnerable, weak women. Yeah. So they prey on that. And I'm not gonna say it's just the men either, because women do too. Okay. So it's a two-way street here.
So where do you begin with your platform?
What we have to do is take our power back as both men and women, to say that, you know what, I'm not going to sacrifice who I am for the sake of trying to please you. If that means that we all have to walk around here single, but who going to do that? Because we are so led by the flesh.
Then all the batteries be gone out of the store.
Doesn't mean you have to walk around single. What it means to me,
you have to communicate.
Is that we have to communicate better with our young ladies, because it starts with our young ladies. Now, the saying goes that a woman's vagina is undefeated out there in the street. It's undefeated, and that's they don't say a woman's vagina, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if we educate our young ladies. And I said this to a young lady the other day. If you're going to choose to deal with that guy that's cutting class, that's making better, help him dress, help him do his homework, help him bring his stuff in, so that now, if y'all do stay together after high school, you don't have that same problem that you started out with.
Right. And then you can't blame nobody else, because you already knew it. The red flag's right there.
And then the thing is that not only do you have to have conversations with young girls, our men are acting the same way. So you got to have conversations with the grown women, teaching. But who got time to do that? And you know what I'm saying? You always teaching and enhancing each other in relationships. I think that's a never-ending thing, right? But a lot of people aren't willing, because they're so set in their ways at a certain age that so it makes it hard. It makes it hard.
Oh, the task is always going to be hard. Task is always
see, this is why I love this guy, right? He has been in my life for 30 years, and he gonna always keep it 100 with me. And he brings balance into my life, so I'm grateful for my friend. And you are right.
And you know the saying says, anything worth doing, it's worth doing well, or worth doing. So I mean, I say, and I thought about it too. I say, one day, they're gonna require all young girls that are 11 to certain to wear chastity belts again. You know what I'm saying? So you can't give it out. All you can do is do hand jobs. Hand Hand job.
Hand job.
Yes, hand job.
Spirit fingers.
Because what's happening is we're having young mothers who are not prepared to raise kids. Young mothers having kids out of, I ain't gonna say out of wedlock, they're having kids from dudes that a bitch ass niggas.
Right. Or that nigga got a chick, he a rapper. He gonna be a rapper one day. Oh, he about to sign, y'all.
Yeah, that's the MO now. They are striving to have babies by rappers just because he got a chick.
Speaking of,
there are some mothers out there that tell them.
Absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. I had a young girl that was in high school that thought my son was gonna go pro, and prom night, her mama's taking pictures like, oh, that's my Dallas Cowboy. Oh, that's my Dallas Cowboy. So yeah, they are training people. So I think that if we continue this platform and we continue to talk about things that are real, things that people don't want to talk about because it makes us have to deal with ourselves.
right.
And that is a big problem in our community. Nobody wants to deal with themselves. Everybody wants to pass the buck, blame it on everybody else as to why things are the way they are. Nobody wants to take responsibility. Part two, or we can go ahead, or we can have a part two.
It's 30 minutes left.
But I wrote a lot of stuff down, you know, men with mommy issues and women with daddy issues.
Mommy issues. Let's talk about that. Yes, they still they still need to be breastfed. Like my mama said, oh, they gotta run to their mama about everything.
So my son and I are very close, right? And I be telling him, go find you some friends, fly the coop, leave me alone, go get married, right? But I don't know if I'm his, I don't know. And we're business partners, so we do see each other a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But he says that I'm his best friend, and I feel like, you know, it's time.
It's not a bad thing being your son's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom is my hero. You know, and everything I do, you know, I give her the credit. You know, I give God the credit, and I give my mom the credit. Because, you know, like I said earlier, she chose not to let it happen the way it could have happened. You know, she chose to fight through. She chose to discipline. She chose to organize. She chose to move us. I grew up in Carver homes, but my mama had the mindset to get us up over there so we could be better. She saw things going downhill.
But you have moved on from him. You got married. How old were you got married?
31.
But you had been with your wife since we were in college. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying that at some point, you know, and I know that he is busy in his life. He's got a lot of things going on. He really ain't focused on nothing else but his business and his daughter. And I get that. I respect this man. You know what I'm saying? I've taught him that. But at the same time, he's got to move on, you know.
Get off the
and I don't want to push him away, but goddamn, you know what I'm saying?
You want to push him, but you don't want to say you're pushing him.
Oh shit, y'all hear him cussing?
You want to push him, but you don't want to say you're pushing him.
Y'all hear him cussing? Y'all hear him talking? Don't be talking about me.
Here's the biggest thing I think about, you know, mothers and their adult male sons is that at some point you gotta have that conversation with them to let them know that you love them, but those major decisions you can no longer assist with those decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You can only love him and be prepared for whatever decision he makes. And you have to fight, the mother has to fight getting involved. When he asks you for your advice, you can't give advice.
He don't.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, when they ask for advice, you got to say there's no more advice. I'm gonna be here for you, support you. You know, I love you, but you need to go out and do this thing yourself now. And my mom had that conversation with her.
So he's 27. What about the 47-year-olds that my mama said? Or not even necessarily.
They need a good woman.
Not even necessarily having being a mama's boy or being too attached to his mama. There are men that have mama issues because their mamas weren't there to nurture them and love them properly at such a young age, and so they're afraid to even they're afraid to even allow somebody to love them. And it's hard because you see a good guy, a great guy, and you know, there are some men who feel like because they've gone through something and their finances are not right, or you know, they've taken a fall, that they're not lovable, that they are not in a position to be loved. And there are women that are willing to grow with you, to help you get back on your feet. Not necessarily take care of you, but to be that one to push you, to love you, to encourage you, to pray with you. And it's a lot of men that aren't willing to receive that. I don't know if it's because they feel like that you know, you trying to be my mama. I don't know what the issue is, but it's not just men, but women too. It's a lot of women that have daddy issues that aren't able to give or receive the love that they require.
I mean, it's so many different scenarios out there that you could look at to say this is the reason, that is the reason, this is the reason. You know, as parents, you know, the old saying goes, you know, you point the arrow as straight as you can point it, and then you let it go. And you hope that it lands in the bullseye. Maybe not dead center. Maybe on the lip of the bullseye. Sure, like if you get it close to the bullseye, you've done a great job. You've done a great job. And parents, when you say, what about the 41-year-old man that's
47.
47-year-old man.
You want to correct that? 47. She made sure she got that correct.
Okay, yeah.
So, you think about this. What happens to in a person's life that makes them change from doing something they routinely do? They find something else that's better to put in their routine. So until they find that person or that something, then that's going to be the routine.
Right.
So if you're that woman that's willing to grow with that man, then you got to be able to fight through that BS. Get him out of his bitch assness.
How?
Get him out of
Wait a minute, where my pen? Hold on.
You got it right down. Take notes.
Alright, well, how? What I mean, like, what do we as women need to do that's gonna meet the guy halfway to even get him to open up to us?
First of all,
because some of y'all scared because you got hurt by one woman. And you won't give another woman a chance because you scared she gonna hurt you again. Stop. We love you.
Yes, we love y'all.
Oh, you love him.
Black men, we love you. You are our kings. We are nothing without you. We need you. We need you. We are worn. We're tired. We need you to just rub and caress on our backs.
It's our neck.
Love us and just like, this is a dishwasher.
Second time you talking about that neck.
It's a spot.
Throw that out there. Second time you talking about that neck.
And women, in return, for your men that you know that are working hard and bringing it home, take care of your man. Love on your man. Tell him how strong he is and how smart he is and how proud of him you are. Make him feel like the king that you want him to be, so that you can get that kind of stuff in return.
Give him some food off a regular plate, not a paper plate.
Absolutely, absolutely. Run his bath water.
Right.
Yeah, man, we do that.
Feed him some food off a regular plate and don't expect him to go do the dishes.
Oh wow. Okay, so So this guy, okay, all right. So,
Man,
so what you?
if I cook a meal, I'm gonna clean the meal.
Okay.
Because he bought the meal.
If you cook me a meal, don't look at me because I went on the sofa and laid down.
And then wash the dishes.
Yeah.
Don't get mad because you ain't washed the dishes. Shouldn't cook that good meal. Okay, so
some women are not like that, but a lot. I mean, and you know what women say. You know, the same stuff you did to get me, the same stuff you got to do to keep me. It worked the same way for a dude.
Okay. Case in point, I'm going to mention this because I heard it this morning on the way to work about Nene and Greg. He was talking to one of their employers or something on the phone or FaceTiming a lady or something, and he said to his wife he needed somebody to talk to because you weren't talking to me. And so that's what I mean about that fuckboy shit. Like, I'm your wife. Call me and say, baby, I need to talk to you, and you haven't been there for me. Can we talk? I'm feeling some type of way. Instead of entertaining another woman who is employed by your wife, by the way, and you are calling her and FaceTiming her. At
You got
night.
a problem with that?
Because she going to go to somebody else and say, oh, wait, yeah, Nene doesn't think I don't need to. So what's up?
Y'all have a problem with that?
Yes. So if you haven't communicated that with me, so how am I supposed to?
Right, like we haven't talked about you having conversations. Well, because you gonna have a problem if
You talk to another dude?
If I called Tyrone and said,
if Tyrone is calling me,
Tyrone, right?
he been kissing me on the back of the neck.
Absolutely. So I'm saying, bro, you know what I'm saying?
His name has to be Tyrone. Can't be Marcellus, Maurice.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm just saying, like, you know.
we all got our own standards. We all got our own standards, and we show them when our situations come up. Now, when we look at somebody else's situation, well, that's messed up. I can't believe this.
Okay, so I'm saying like, okay, so
He might have been doing it for
I'm not even having an opinion about it. I'm just bringing it up because that's a case in point about the situation that we were talking about, and it just happened to be on the radio this morning, and you know, Nene has a problem with it, and so I'm thinking that, you know, if it's business or whatnot, the thing is that if you feel like you got to do something and it's got to be slick or underhanded, then there's not good intention behind it. So
you got to be slick or underhanded.
So I'm gonna feel some type of way if I don't know that you're talking to this woman on the phone and on FaceTime.
Should you feel some type of way because I'm talking to the person, or should you feel some type of way because you don't know I need somebody to talk to?
But absolutely, I'm gonna feel some type of way because
as
your wife,
I don't know that you need somebody to talk to. God damn it, I'm slipping over here. My bitch ass.
Exactly, and that goes back to
it goes both ways.
Absolutely. So, but however, instead of copping out or using stuff as an excuse to say, well, my wife wasn't talking to me, so I'm gonna go over here and talk to another wife. Communicate first. I mean, another woman, you know, communicate, because then there's a lack of trust there.
That communication piece is a big thing because women and men send silent messages that make their partners not want to communicate with them.
Okay.
You send a message. You may wake up in the morning and something, might have a bad dream, woke up with a headache, whatever. But instead of you getting up and saying, hey, I'm not feeling well this morning, right, a headache, you get up with your face bent up and everything. Now your partner looking at you like, what?
How did you do?
I did ask you.
Then he go, what you
and then you go back.
Right.
Now the day don't start out wrong, all because you didn't say, or he didn't say, I had a bad dream last night.
So communication is the whole piece.
The whole piece.
The entire piece. I mean, and not just in
intimate on all levels.
Absolutely.
On all levels.
Absolutely.
On all issues. On all things. And a lot of times, mates are fearful of communicating with their mates Because they don't know what kind of reaction they're going to get.
Fear of rejection. Fear of rejection. Fear of having to.
Fear of not even being taken serious.
Deal with yourself. Fear of you having some kind of type of opinion about what I said. Just, you know, just.
Oh, you feel hurt. You feel you got to put up a defense. Like, okay, well, no. You don't want to take ownership for what you did or what's going on.
Totally.
But you gotta deal with yourself.
But that ain't working. So it's a whole lot of cheating and folks messing around in these streets, and it's dangerous out here.
Y'all ain't got to deal with the coronavirus.
That's a whole other section.
Yes. Because women, no, we usually
women be cheat too now.
But usually we cheat
because some fools in this house. And there's like there are women that are married that will cheat, but will only cheat with married men.
Yeah.
So
cheating got so many different levels to it.
Mentally, physically.
I mean, there are people now making money off cheaters. White guy following you around.
That's my man. What you doing over here with my man?
They're making money off cheaters. See, at the end of the day, with this technology and social media, it's always an angle. It's an angle.
So why cheat in the first place? If you're gonna cheat,
why? You can.
Yes.
Oh, see?
I
was waiting on it to come.
Let me find out.
I was waiting on it to come. I wait on the come.
Because the door is open. There's not a person alive that wouldn't try to get away with something
if they knew they wasn't gonna get caught.
If they knew they weren't gonna get caught.
And you right. If I knew I wasn't gonna get caught, I'd be at Bank of America in the morning.
That's what I heard.
You ready?
Okay.
I was watching the show the other day. The guy was doing research and he was using 4, 5, 6-year-old kids. He tell them, you're going in this room, all right? There's a game in there. You have to stand behind the line and throw these balls over your shoulder to try to get them on the little target thing. If you get it close to the target, you get a prize. Whoever gets it close gets a prize. He goes out. He doesn't tell these kids they videoing this. These kids in that cheat like walking past the line, putting the ball close. So then he take a second group of kids and he tells them the same thing, but he tells them there's an imaginary person sitting right in the chair watching you. None of them cheated. One of them walked up to the chair to see if somebody was So then he comes back and say, if we could get away with it, we would all try it. We would all do it.
But see, my thing is, well, when women cheat, it's on a different level. With most women, on a different level. It's like mentally. We can be just on the phone having conversation because we just not getting a conversation at home. Men, some of y'all cheating just cause. Hey, barbecue. Just cause Sally said, yeah, come on over.
I did it again. I'm sorry.
Just cause Sally said, come on over. Yeah, you can get it. And it's just women out there just they know you with somebody, but just because they know.
So for
they
men, is it just physical for men when they cheat?
You can.
And why do we get hurt more, or do you think the men get hurt more when we cheat?
They get hurt because we want to put up this persona that we're not going to cheat, or we just are so sacred and sweet and honest and nice.
I think with more, it definitely goes both ways, but more so with men, it's just the act.
Yeah.
A man could do it, get up, clean up, walk out the door, he's done. Ain't no emotional attachment. Now you know that
how do y'all
because it was so
so
good.
we gonna eat breakfast in the morning?
Yeah, because it's so good, your body still vibrating.
Can you pick me up from work?
And man, I'm so beyond what we just did. I'm 3 blocks down the street making a left.
It's just
I'm calling my boy.
Like, do you need lunch today?
It's just the makeup. It's just dinner.
And I'm calling my boy.
The X and Y.
You going over there and get that
should have seen what she was doing.
Hey, hold on, wait. At 50, they still doing this, okay? So.
At 50,
She's still over there trending, dog.
Huh?
She's still over there like,
Yes, I'm still vibrating on the bed, and you standing up there with your hands on your hip like.
What time does the Wakanda plane leave?
Exactly.
So it's a game. It is a game, and the game is not to be sold. And you know, the ultimate goal is for us to raise a generation that's going to be better than us.
right.
Right now, our generation that's behind us is suffering really bad. You know, and we can go back to our episodes 1 and 2 to talk about what's going on and why it's going on. But if we as the adults don't get a hold of ourselves, because they're watching us, they emulate everything we do.
Everything.
And if we don't pull the reins and have some self-respect for ourselves, we in a mellow of a hess, as my grandmama used to say. And I don't know what it's gonna take for us to come back, or were we ever there in the first place?
We were there.
We were there.
We were there. The black community used to be very tight, and it was very evident in the 80s when you had the Black Panther movement, and everything.
50s, 60s, 70s.
And see, and we were getting stronger because we were together.
There was no like allowed to cuss out the grandparents. I mean, just like they beat up that older lady in the streets. There's some black guys beat up their grandmother, beat up for her car.
Yeah.
I mean, who does that?
I think that back then we were more solid because our options were limited. They were fewer. We didn't have as many options and things to choose from.
Yeah, you had to be tight.
So you know, you had to be my brother's keeper. That's all we had. You know, we didn't have anything else to protect us, and our generations before us were coming from a place of needing protection. And so now it's like we need protection from ourselves. We really do.
They've allowed us to come in the front door instead of going around the back and getting through the kitchen window.
We thought we big shit because we ain't got to walk around the back.
Yeah, we coming in the front door. We sitting down. We at the bar. You know what I'm saying? We serving each other. And guess who's still running the place now? He's still running it.
Yeah.
We
use the same
bathroom. You know what he said? You know what? Hey, I tell you what. You can actually run the place.
Right.
I just sit back here and count the money. Because money is money.
Right.
Wealth is wealth.
And you're going to bring in the money so I can get wealthy.
Yeah. Wealth is wealth. Wealth is wealth.
So we done, a bunch of us done sold our souls for some wealth that we still ain't got. But it's okay. So it's a bunch of soulless people
Doing anything for clout. Doing anything for clout.
Yeah. Well, clout ain't gonna get you into heaven or wherever you trying to go. You know,
especially if you're evil, conniving.
We were supposed to go live and then cut it short because we are dropping Sunday. Our debut will be Sunday. The first 2 episodes that are based on mental health, and we're gonna keep this going weekly. And I think we've talked about quite a lot tonight. I am due to go in to have surgery in the morning. So if anybody would like to add anything else, or if there's something that you would like to leave that's a lasting impression, or any words that you would like to.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave that with what I told you at the beginning.
Okay.
Things that you do, you don't want to regret those things. Things you do, you don't want to forget those things. But you always want to make sure that you love them. So don't regret, don't forget, but always love.
And love is the foundation of happiness, peace, and eternal life. And so I'm gonna just pray that everyone, you know, just has peace in their life. And if you're going through something, if you're having relationship problems, if you need to take a look at yourself, monitor your behavior or recognize your behavior, then, you know, we got to start with ourselves, expecting other people to do us right. We have to do ourselves right first. And so, on that note, we're going to end this tonight. Thank you, Mr. B, for being our guest.
It's a pleasure.
Tune in next week. We'll be back with throwing shade under the same tree. All right, I'm Reka J from the A, where my homies don't play. And this is my co-host,
Tip Top.
and this is the Always 100 Show. Peace. Yeah, it's a wrap.
We did that.